A war is on right now with Collective Shout in terms of censorship. This is a major problem. This is a serious budding problem regarding Collective Shout. And as any good tactician will tell you, if you want to defeat your enemy, you have to know your enemy.
Ember, I take it a certain someone is trying to get back a little reputation Cinder donated.
Yes, Mike, I saw that, and you know what? I don't care. She donated a very substantial amount. It was lovely of her to do so. End it right there. I'm telling you, end it right there. Don't look into it. Take it as a generous donation for a good cause for Mousy and leave it there. Don't look any deeper. Not everything has to be a conspiracy. But speaking of, we're going to look into Collective Shout because Madame Savvy did a video a couple days. This was what, 3 days ago? Yeah, 3 days ago, Madame Savvy did a deep dive onto Collective Shout. And Kamen Rider, thank you for the follow. Yeah, this people that I've seen some of you guys have suggested. I've had people in my comments section on YouTube wanting me to look at it. So it's a bit of a longer one. So this one may take a while. That's why I'm kind of jumping right into it. But Madame Savvy apparently dives deep into what's going on with Collective Shout. And since Collective Shout has basically declared war on men and the gaming industry and the manga industry, since they have literally declared war and are choosing to try and use the payment processors as their weapons, I think it would be best to find out about them and give oxygen to what is behind all of this. So let's take a look-see and find out about our opponent.
You can't fight a war without first understanding your enemy. And in this video, I will be laying Collective Shout bare for all to see, showing you all their words,
what
their
did I say?
beliefs, and their history. In the last 48 hours, I have been labeled a man by them for daring to speak out. Since then, they've...
Wait, no. Oh my god! He's down. And by the way, this is the first indication that they don't give a fuck about women. This is the first indicator. Golden Dragon, thank you. The fact that when a woman criticizes them, and they say when men who claim, they basically refer to her as a man, it's a pretty good, clear indicator that they don't actually, not that this should be surprising, that they don't care about women. They only care about exerting control over others. And I have a very strong suspicion that's what's going to boil down to at the end of the day, by the end of this video. It's all about a tightly knit group of women who probably were, basically told, go get back in the kitchen or something. And their whole purpose is to control others because they are being Karens. And all they want is to just take control of other people and just go, ha, you have to listen to me now. Something like that. That's my suspicion of what this is going to be, what this is going to turn out to be in the end.
Done nothing but continue to use harsh language to try to make a point. They deem everyone questioning them porn addicts, pedophiles, or worse, all while presenting all anime as childlike.
Wait. Okay, porn sick gamers angry that Steam removed their rape and says child abuse games are now sending me my colleagues rape and death threats. Corrine or Coralie, I need receipts for that. 'Cause I'm sorry, I don't believe you. I don't outright believe that her and her colleagues at Collective Shout are receiving these alleged rape and death threats. Or at the very least, not at the volume that she is implying. And no, Kanito, they don't. I'm gonna put this out here right now, right at the very beginning. These people do not deserve to be the recipients of rape and death threats. They do not. As angry as we may get about what they are doing, they do not deserve to receive these kinds of threats. And this goes along with the brigading thing, with the brigading rule that I have, as in don't fucking do it. No one should be receiving these kind of threats at all. Do I think they may have gotten one or two? Yes, I do. This is the internet. Okay, the internet is full of plenty of sick people that will literally do this just for the lulz and not even be serious about it at all. But to the degree that she is implying, like she's getting inundated with, she and her colleagues are getting inundated with rape and death threats. Yeah, I'm gonna need receipts before I believe you. Because people like this that are part of this group will lie. They absolutely will lie to try and gin up support for their organization.
Porn addicts, pedophiles, or worse.
And this one, pervert nerds are responsible for most of society's ills. Prove me wrong. Who wants to tell her? Eh? Who wants to tell her? If Megan Murphy thinks that quote unquote pervert nerds are responsible for most of society's ills, wants to let her know that all of the glorious technology that she enjoys was literally invented by the pervert nerds that she hates. Literally all of the technology that she's currently using in terms of computer technology, mobile technology, server systems, websites, all of that is literally run by furries. The pervert nerds she hates so much. They're the ones responsible for allowing her to say this on a social media platform. Tonight, Coyote.
All while presenting all anime as childlike to gear up for their next major crusade. They never once engage with a single woman who speaks out against.
Wait. If you think normalizing and utilizing almost childlike appearance, pornified female anime character was at what point was Grok's AI childlike?
I'm a pervert and a nerd, and I'm proud of it. Go dunk your head in a tank of water, Megan Murphy.
We all are, Leo. We all are. But I'm sorry. Who ever thought that Annie was childlike in appearance? For fuck's sake, Annie was modeled after Misa. Flat the fuck out. Grok, the Grok anime AI model was literally modeled after Misa from Death Note. Zep, I'm trying to remember. I thought Misa was college. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen Death Note, but I thought Misa was college age. Yeah, because that was the whole thing, is because Light was college age, and him and Misa were about the same age. So, yeah, exactly, Zeb, me too. I always thought she was college age. But Grok's AI companion, Annie, was literally modeled, outfit and all, after Misa from Death Note. That's literally what they based the model on. And she is colored. So, childlike, yeah, Danny Pinter, that sounds like a bit of projection on your part, saying that Annie looks like she is childlike. I think somebody might need to check Danny Pinter's computer, because this feels like progression.
Misa is college, Light kills people, but he's not evil.
You can debate that all you want. The only thing I will say is that Misa got done so fucking dirty in Death Note. Misa got done so dirty after the first couple of episodes of Death Note. Oh, Light got done dirty in like the second season, But Misa, after like episode 4 or 5, they did her so fucking dirty. I hated what they did to her. She could have been an outstanding fucking character, and they basically turned her into a literal dumb blonde, and I hated it.
Gear up for their next major crusade. They never once engage with a single woman who speaks out against them and seem to prefer to silence them. We start this with their website, a brief overview. They claim to be against the sexualization and exploitation of women and girls, but their focus lies in controlling businesses, walking a fine line between attacking women directly while shaming businesses for selling products that women refuse to stop buying.
Oh, and by the way, this thing where they're going after Playboy because of like one of their notations that we saw on their website about Playboy is that they have the Playboy bunnies dressed in what can be considered like underage appearing garb. Cool. Hey, Collective Shout, when you plan on going after Britney Spears? You know, if you're so pissed off about Playboy having their Playboy playmates dressing up like schoolgirls, when are you going to go after Britney Spears? No, she's not, Leo, but Britney Spears' most popular song had her dressed as schoolgirl along with her backup dancers. So why don't they go after the music industry to try and take them down? Plenty of the music industry still uses the schoolgirl look in music videos on YouTube because they don't actually have MTV anymore, really. Why don't you go after the costume companies? Why are you going after Playboy? Why not go after the costume companies that sell the schoolgirl Halloween costumes, which women choose to buy? By the way, women choose to buy these costumes and dress up as the sexy schoolgirls. Why? Because it makes them feel sexy. And they like to feel sexy.
While shaming businesses for selling products that women refuse to stop buying. They've taken glory in targeting Grand Theft Auto back in 2015.
Right, we heard about this.
They targeted Detroit Become Human, Sword Art Online, and other games.
Yes. Oh, wait, they targeted Sword Art Online? Okay, that I didn't hear about. We heard about Detroit Become Human, and again, depicting child abuse and violence against women. Again, the reason why Detroit Become Human shows child abuse and violence against women is to elicit a visceral response of, this is bad. The point purpose of it is to have you as the player say, oh, I want to try and stop this. It's not glorifying it. You dumbass. And Sword Art Online, why in the holy... Okay, no, wait. I know why they're going after Sword Art Online. I already know why they're going after Sword Art Online. Because it's anime. Because it's a popular anime series, and Collective Shout probably wants to destroy all anime. I no question. Collective Shout wants to actually get rid of anime. They want anime to cease because they view it because since 90% of anime characters, particularly the women, are all smoking hot, because guess what? That's what sells. That's what enjoyers of manga and anime want to see. Collective Shout thinks it should be destroyed. They much prefer Concord. They much prefer, you know, the women of Concord versus anime or manga, because those women are actually hot and people actually want to look at them. Nobody wants to look at what was coming out of Concord.
Games and anime. But they did a lot more than just that. Halloween costume is a bit too sexy. They want
it. Well-known craft and hobby store spotlight remove pimp costumes. Oh, they did go after the costume companies. But they didn't go after the costume that I mentioned. They went after the quote-unquote pimp costumes. Why didn't they go after the slutty schoolgirl, the slutty cat girl, the dominatrix uniforms that are all literally for the purpose of having women look sexy? Why didn't they go after those costumes? Slutty nurse, slutty cheerleader, the list goes on and fucking on. Literally insert occupation or a fictional character here and add slutty to it. It's out there. But they only went after the male costumes. They went after the male costume, not the female costumes. Just the male costumes. Trivializing violence against women in the sex trade following condemnation from a singular sex trafficking survivor. No, Durahan, they don't. These are flat out fucking man haters. Bearing in mind, I don't believe, to my understanding, there's not one single man that is involved in this organization. That one. They are full of just reeing misandrist Karens. This is literally an organization of Karens.
Gone. Wine bar getting a little saucy with an ad? Banned. Bookstore selling raunchy works of fiction, mostly by women for women? Bad. Playboy raising money for breast cancer charities? Hella banned.
Wait. National Breast Cancer Society Cancer Foundation charity instructed Playboy-owned sex store Honey Project to end its fund. Why? They actually convinced a charity to not take money. They actually convinced a charity not to take money from Playboy. And God knows Playboy probably was providing them with a large amount of charitable donations. And they actually got the Breast Cancer Foundation to not take, not simply just stupid, Atsunashi, it's counterproductive. You're claiming to be all about women, yet you're going to remove financing for a breast cancer charity? Again, more proof that these people do not care about women. They flat out do not give a fuck about women at large. They only want to basically exercise control. They are control freak misandrists. That's who these people are. They are control freaks. All they want is control. And they don't care whom they hurt. And women to have that iron gripped control over everything that they want. Kanito, you should despise these people. These people are fucking disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. And I can't wait to see how bad it gets as we dive deeper.
Playboy raising money for breast cancer charities? Hella banned. Bakery using a cheeky slogan that is fun? Oh, this is hell on earth for these people. Lip gloss companies associating with the sensual themes, the devil might as well be gazing right at you. They even present a full-grown woman as a tween or girl instead of the woman that she is in order to shame a clothing company.
Wait. Hello. Okay, so if they did an alteration to make a girl look younger than she actually is, just for the purposes of harassment? If they actually did that, I have to wonder if if that is illegal and a lawsuit. Yeah, well, it's not simply just misrepresenting a real person, Leo. They're misrepresenting a person for the explicit purposes of slandering a company. In that. Well, no, Atashi, I don't think it's simply that they hate petite women. I think they actually digitally changed the advertisement to make the model look young, specifically to look younger than she is what it sounds like. Yeah, so they deliberately it sounds like they deliberately photoshopped. That's what it sounded like, she said. I'll play it again. That's what it sounded, because it said she said that it sounded like they altered it. Let me hear it again.
Might as well be gazing right at you. They even present a full-grown woman as a tween or girl instead of the woman that she is.
Sorry, no, they did not digitally alter. They just falsely say that she's a tween. So, okay, I am mistaken. They did not do a digital alteration, but they're saying that this person is a tween and not a full-grown woman. So they are deliberately twisting fact, and they're being slanderous. Yeah, it's still misrepresentation, claiming that this is a tween, and if that's what they did, that could be slander if they can prove that it affected their business because they said, "Oh, you're sexualizing tweens," when this is a full-grown woman.
In order to shame a clothing company for such imagery. They have a treasure trove of misrepresentations and claims of sending angry emails, but I can't find a single mention of actually helping rape or abuse victims. Who is Melinda Tankard Reist, the founder of Collective Shout? A woman.
Well, I'm sure this will come up in this video. Melinda Tankard Reist, the woman who defended cuties. I will repeat that. Melinda Tankard Reist and Collective Shout defended Cuties. The movie Cuties.
Melinda Tankard Reist, the founder of Collective Shout. A woman with a journalism degree who somehow ended up as a bioethics advisor for a senator, Melinda is actually hated among feminists because she seems to not understand the word. A misandrist in her presentation and actions, she is both deeply pro-life and pro-woman by claim, however has no issue banning things women actually want and do. Born in 1963, she's a 61-year-old and is dedicating her golden years to fighting fiction instead of spending time with her family. Not even a year after getting hired for some position she isn't qualified for, the senator she worked for was able to pull abortion pills from Australia and developing nations that Australia had its claws in, denying women safe abortion.
So she's pro-woman, but she's anti-choice. She is basically, again, she's twisting up the values. She wants to say she's anti-abortion, she's pro-life, but she's also saying she's pro-woman, but she doesn't think women should have a choice of what to do with their bodies. Yeah, exactly, Seth. Yeah, she's pro her type of women. She thinks that all women should adhere to her own personal moral compass. And if you do not, then you should be canceled or you should be beaten down into submission. That's what she and all the other people at Collective Shout feel, is you should not be able to think for yourself. You should think the way that we do. And if you don't, well, we will just beat you into submission until you do.
Options even in the face of rape or incest. The rest of the world, by comparison, was using these pills. This is when actual feminists started to notice her, and she has been a thorn in women's side.
No, Gore, we are not.
In 2012, Melinda threatened to sue a blogger, Jennifer Wilson, for daring to speak against her. In a very tame blog post, Jennifer calls out Collective Shout for essentially slut-shaming by proxy and denying women agency to choose. This notion is important for later, and Jennifer questions the group and how they operate. How Collective Shout shames women and girls.
Good.
It's with some amusement that I note Melinda Tankard Reist's Collective Shout claims that they are not slut-shaming women and girls who want, buy, and wear clothing that the organization considers sexualizes them. They are not, they claim, targeting women and girls who wear the clothes. Rather, they are attacking the retailers who sell them. I suppose
it's the same thing. You can try and twist it into a pretzel and do all the mental gymnastics you want. It's the same fucking thing. You can try and claim you're not targeting women and girls who choose to wear those clothes. Keyword there, they are choosing to wear them. The retailers and the manufacturers are not forcing any of these women or girls to wear these sexualized clothing. The sexy clothing that gives a woman a really nice ass, or if she's wearing or if it's a short skirt, or if it's showing off her titties nicely. The retailers and manufacturers are not forcing any woman to do that. Any woman to do that. So, yes, they are slut shaming. They are telling every woman or girl that chooses to wear that clothing, you are a slut, you are a whore, you should feel ashamed of yourself, you must adhere to what we think you should wear. No matter how many mental gymnastics they try to go through to try and claim that they're not, they are. Anyone with a reasonable functioning brain can see that is exactly what they are. They're, I think she said it. They're slut shaming by proxy. They're absolutely doing a slut shame by proxy because they think, again, I'm not going to say it again. I'm going to be repeating this. The whole fucking video is that they think that you have to live your life the way they do or they'll end you.
Suppose they are slutty retail shamers. If they attack retailers who sell the clothes of which they so strongly disapprove, they cannot help but slut shame the women who freely choose to buy and wear them. They are telling women and girls that the clothes sexualize them, that is, makes them look like tramps and sluts available for male use and abuse. You can't have these clothes, Collective Shout says, because they make you look available, and if you won't stop buying
I've got a news flash for Collective Shout. For some women, they actually do buy and wear those clothes to let them know that they are open and available for a booty call, which is their choice. If they wish to wear tight little outfits to advertise, I'm feeling sexy and I want to take a guy to bed, that's their choice. For those specific women that choose to do that. There are also other women that wear sexy, tight clothes because they want to feel sexy. Simply that. There are plenty of women in the world that want to look sexy because they like to feel sexy. And yes, some of them like the attention that it garners. They're not necessarily going to jump into bed with someone, but they like the attention.
Which would you prefer for a sexy outfit for your model? Leather or lace?
Lace. Definitely lace. Absolutely. For God's sake, look at my skirt. You think I would go leather or lace? Huh? You tell me.
them will stop them from being sold. Believe it or not, no retailer on earth stocks products nobody wants to buy and hopes to prosper. Clearly, somebody wants the clothing Collective Shout loves to hate. Not everybody shares their aesthetic. Maybe it's a class thing. I noticed they aren't going after David Jones and Pumpkin Patch, who service the middle class and peddle a different aesthetic from Target.
Don't know who those are.
If someone is trying to prevent stores from stocking the clothes you want because they think it's immoral, you are being judged and shamed for your choices by people who believe they know better than you and how you should look.
I think it actually goes beyond they believe they know better than you. I think it goes beyond, and yes, Leo, I was going to say that this woman is absolutely fucking based with this sign. That her short skirt has nothing to do with that. This absolute fucking base there. But I do think that this goes beyond people that believe they know better than you. I don't think it's that they know better than them. It's simply they think you should. It's not thinking that they know better. It's that they want that control over them. They're saying, no, you should not look that way because we don't like it. So it's not knowing better. It's that it offends them what other women choose to wear. So they are offended by what other women choose, and so they don't wish to have their eyeballs offended by other women. I think it's much more in line with that versus they say they know better than them. I don't think it's that at all. It's just control, and they spend most of their life just clutching their pearls, and they can't stand people having freedom of choice and offending their eyes with their sexy tawdry outfits.
I've never looked at a young girl and thought she looks like a tramp, or more formally, she's been sexualized, no matter what the girl is wearing. It's a mystery to me why anyone would choose to first perceive a child in this way and then speak about her in such a pejorative term. She goes on to write more, but that summarizes it nicely. She then goes on to detail a strange letter sent over by a possible lawyer and the demands. The 17th of January that year. Some thoughts on being threatened with defamation by MTR. Well, here's the thing. I've been challenging MTR for a couple of years on the drum at On the Line Opinion and on my blog. Not once has she debated, denied, argued, or contested the points that I've made about her and the position from which she speaks. TR has a much bigger public platform than I do and far more opportunity to respond to her critics. But rather than engage in any debate at all with me over the last couple of years, she's now chosen to threaten me with a defamation suit.
And there it is. She's not going to try and respond or debate with her because she can't defend her position. Which we know. We know this. We know that Melinda cannot defend her position. If you were to confront Melinda and with her, where she likes to present her values, and ask her, what right do you have to try and inflict your personal values on another woman in regard to what a woman should wear? She won't be able to defend it. And that's why she's jumping straight into defamation suit. And realistically, this blogger could win that defamation suit if she challenged her. If this blogger fought back and challenged her in court, she probably would win. The problem is, she probably doesn't have the financial means to sustain a court case defending herself. And since this is Australia, I don't know whether or not the winner in a civil case basically has their lawyer's fees paid by the loser. Exactly, Cody. It's Australian court, so I don't know. Like, I know in the U.S., if you bring forth a civil suit, whichever party wins the civil suit, the loser of that suit has to pay the lawyer costs for the winner, the succeeder of the suit. I have no idea if Australia has that kind of operation in civil courts. So theoretically speaking, if it doesn't, I'm going to go on the assumption that it doesn't. She doesn't have the financial means not only to fight the case herself, but to potentially afford to pay for her lawyers.
For some reason, women are not allowed to feel sexy. And men are not allowed to find sexy women attractive. Yep. I smell conspiracy.
Well, again, Kamen Rider, it's people like Melinda and the people of Collective Shout that realistically, they don't care. Realistically, they don't care about those points. They just want to exercise control. That's all they want. They want to exercise control over others. They want that feel of power. Realistically, I don't think, I would question whether or not they actually have an issue with a woman looking sexy, and more along the lines of, we want to control everything we can. So, looks like Australia has the loser pays ruling as a general thing in their courts. Okay, so, but my guess is this blogger probably doesn't have the financial means of defending herself in the first place. And that's why maybe she did fight it in court.
She proceeds, she will financially ruin me. Demands that her lawyer, Rick Lucas of Colquhoun Murphy, the firm that successfully sued Bob Elias after his Abbott and Costello book, has insisted I must not publish in another attempt to bully, intimidate, and control me. Mr. Lucas does not want me to reveal to anybody what those demands are. The two statements I made that offended Tancred Reese, according to her lawyer's letters, are: 1, I stated she is a Baptist, which he claims in the letter she is not, and 2, that I expressed my opinion that MTR is duplicitous and deceptive about her religion. If I do not retract both those statements, apologize in format MTR's lawyers determines is sufficient for her needs, and pay for all her legal costs, even though there has been no writ served and the matter has not gone anywhere near court, they are still demanding I pay costs she has incurred to date. I will be faced with financial ruin as I defend a defamation suit.
That's blackmail. They're holy fuck. So she's claiming she's not a Baptist. I have no idea if it's true or not. And they have a problem with her expressing an opinion that she is duplicitous and deceptive. Yeah, extortion. Thank you, Nibus. I got the word wrong. You are correct. I used incorrect terminology there. Yeah, they're literally extorting her. Yeah. And see, these people need to get hit by someone that has the money for an actual good that can actually sustain a case. They need to take Melinda and Collective Shout to court. And bearing in mind, they went after this person like this because she is a small blogger and they knew she couldn't defend herself. That's one thing that they do. They use tactics where they go after people that can't defend themselves. No, this would not work in the States. And that's the key thing there. I am aware that Australia is not, from everything I've heard, Australia is not all that great when it comes to protections afforded to the individual when it comes to courts. Now, I don't know a great deal about Australian courts, but from everything I've heard, it's not great for the individual, and more often than not, the individual is pretty well screwed if any case goes to court by someone that has a much bigger bank account, which is not dissimilar to the U.S. Honestly, it's like the U.S. Let's not kid ourselves. The U.S. is similar. It's when it comes to court cases like this. If this happened in the U.S. and this company or this woman goes after a small blogger who's basically just barely getting by with their blog and maybe their work, and they threaten to sue, that person also would not be able to properly defend themselves in court because they would not be able to hire a lawyer and sustain the lawyer's fees for what I'm sure would be a drawn-out case. So they're going after weak individuals that don't have the means to defend themselves, which is the very fucking definition of a bully. Now, well, Atsunashi, granted, this is not talking about gaming, so the gaming community wouldn't fund her legal defense. But I do think that that especially now, if Collective Shout went after a small-time blogger now, because don't forget, this happened before. This is not recent. I don't believe this is recently. They are so hated right now that if they go after any small blogger or something that talks bad about Collective Shout and threatens to sue them, if they ran a GoFundMe saying Collective Shout is suing me, I need help with the defense, I think that they would get a lot of traction on that GoFundMe right now because Collective Shout has become the new Sweet Baby Inc. Yeah, okay, yes, Atsunashi, yes. Now, yes. Collective Shout has become the new Sweet Baby Inc. booking that. We are going to be hearing a lot about Collective Shout in the next several weeks, I think, because this is like the next step in this kind of insane company.
Jennifer luckily refuses to bend the knee and refuses to apologize or retract anything. But what it did do was start a conversation that led to a collective shouting at Melinda, turning her into a laughingstock. However, there are those that came to her defense in her circle. This article was written in January 25th, 2012. On Sunday, TR was also given a platform by Fairfax to complain about the level of online vilification directed at her since her legal threats to Wilson. That same day, News Limited commenter and avowed Catholic Miranda Devine weighed in to run the same line. TR was a victim of cyberbullies, miserable orcs who lurk in the dark recesses of Twitter and the blogosphere.
Mitch, you threatened to sue a small blogger and tried to extort her for money to pay for your lawyer just for sending a fucking letter. Go fuck yourself. You are not a victim. Okay? Not even fucking close to being a victim. You're just very fortunate that you did not play fuck around with someone that actually has the money to not only put your ass on blast, but to beat the fuck out of you in court by proving just what a miserable cunt you really are. And by the way, notice how much there is being put into regarding religion on this one. There was talk about Melinda, like, about being a Baptist, not being a Baptist, but you know, she's definitely part of like the Christian Catholic circle of, you know, when it comes to faith. And then of course you have an avowed Catholic racing to her defense. So notice how much religion is playing a part in all this. I have a feeling it's going to get even bigger. And I'm going to have a problem with that.
Who had poured calumny on her. Divine's piece was littered with abuse of her own. Leslie Kenold was nastily termed an abortion enthusiast, bringing to mind Sarah Silverman's line,
God.
I want to get an abortion, but my boyfriend and I are having trouble conceiving. Conservative lawyer Kathy Sherry also joined in, complaining that she had been driven from debate because unaccountable bloggers directed exclusionary vitriol at her. It's a tale of...
Wait, driven from debates? How? What the hell does being driven from debate even fucking mean? What debate? We have yet to see anything regarding a debate. In fact, specifically, Melinda and her ilk refused to debate in the first place. So what fucking debate is she even talking about?
As old as time. Then came the funniest post of all. Threatened legal action by the Australian Sex Party because she said that they were associated with pseudo-child pornography. The blogger, whom anti-pornography campaigner Melinda Tankard-Reist has threatened with defamation, has vowed not to apologize. And the Australian Sex Party, a long-term opponent of Miss Tankard-Reist, has now made its own defamation threats. Miss Tankard-Reist's lawyers served Jennifer Wilson, whose blog at the website No Place for Sheep was a letter demanding that Dr. Wilson retract a post that characterized Miss Tankard-Reist as being hypocritical for not disclosing her religious beliefs. Dr. Wilson said the approach was heavy-handed and bullying. Meanwhile, the leader of the Australian Sex Party, Fiona Patten, said Miss Tankard-Reist has made some very horrible untruths about the party, and she has been inspired by the controversy to revisit the issue of legal action.
Good. Because you see, she'll probably read this in the bottom. In 2009, Tankard-Reist posted an article accusing the Sex Party, which I have no idea what the Australian Sex Party is. I'm guessing it's some kind of a group that is in support of sex workers? I don't know. If someone here is from Australia, if someone in chat is from Australia, please let me know what the hell the Australian Sex Party is. My suspicion is it's basically just a group that supports sex workers, but I don't know. But by making an accusation that the Sex Party is linked to child pornography, even by throwing in the bullshit pop sci word pseudo, that is flagrantly defamatory. That right there, but if you accuse someone of child pornography, that should be an instant defamation suit. That should be an instant, okay, you want to say that we're linked to child pornography? We're going to be taking your ass to court, and you're going to have to prove that, or you're going to have to pay out. Because it's too fucking easy for people to make these incredibly inflammatory, words are hard, defamation statements that can actually ruin lives and businesses. We've seen this. Doing this is the same as basically accusing someone of sexual assault. Just saying it. This is the same thing as saying, oh yeah, he raped me. And having zero evidence, but because we're in a time where it's like, believe all women, making an accusation of rape will destroy someone, regardless if it's true or false, regardless if there's evidence, regardless if said person that is accused is found not guilty in a court of law. It can destroy lives, both financially and physically. Again, I will bring this up. How many people have taken their own lives because they have been falsely accused of sexual assault? Even when it has come out that the accusation was false, the harassment continues. Even after it's been proven beyond a reasonable doubt that they did not do it, and it comes out that the other person's lying. How many people have still taken their own lives because they continue to get harassed even when it's been proven that the accusation was a bald-faced lie? This shit needs to have consequences. There needs to be laws into place that if you make a false accusation like this, that you instantly are charged and are going in front of a judge. I fully believe that any person that makes a false sexual assault allegation or a blatantly false child sexual assault allegation that is proven to be false should instantly be charged with a crime that comes with prison time. Equal prison time for what the sexual assault charge would have been for the person that was accused. That needs to be a fucking law in the Western world. Because there are way too many fucking instances of this where people will falsely accuse someone, destroy their lives, and then it comes out, oh yeah, they lied their ass off. They made this accusation because the person didn't want to go on a date with them. That person needs to get charged. People like that need to be hit with criminal charges with prison time equal to the original charge that they accused. I don't care if it's the US, I don't care if it's Canada, I don't care if it's Great Britain, I don't care if it's France, I don't care if it's Australia. They all need to have this because false accusations are so far on the fucking rise that are destroying so many fucking lives, it's not even funny. And until people that make these blatantly false accusations get punished, it will continue and only escalate. This is what happened when we got the Believe All Women and Me Too hashtags, is that they started making accusations, some of which were true, but many of which were false. And none of them ever got punished for it. Not one of them ever received punishment for making a false sexual assault accusation. It needs to fucking stop. By force.
In 2009, Miss Tankard Reese posted an article accusing the sex party of being linked to pseudo-child pornography. That is a theme with this woman. She uses the harshest language possible to look right, yes, as outed here for being praised for using emotionally charged language, not...
Tanashi, it doesn't mean anything. That's why she threw in the pseudo. Because there's no way if her dumb fucking ass got dragged in front of a judge, there is no way she could actually prove that the sex party is involved in child pornography. She would not be able to prove it. So she throws in that pseudo word as a means to try to cover her ass to say, well, I didn't actually say child pornography. I said pseudo child pornography. It's not the same thing, to which my response is, don't fucking care. You still committed a crime. You should still go to fucking prison for false accusation. Don't care. Sucks to be you. Fuck off.
Look right, as outed here for being praised for using emotionally charged language, not factual. The Sydney Morning Herald released an article with a segment here. It is a message that has attracted a wide range of fans and collaborators, from teenagers to teachers and psychologists such as Steve Biddulph and Michael Cargreg. It is very difficult to debate with her because if you're talking to a mainstream audience, you sound like a boring dick, observes one commentator who is regularly pitted against Tankard Reese. She argues anecdotally. She argues emotively, and she is highly effective at it.
But you know, it's a distinct lack of what she argues. She does not argue factually. And that's the key. She can't defend her position against facts. Facts are her kryptonite, which is why fuck the debating with her. Fuck getting into a debate with her. Get her in front of a judge and let the facts do the talking, because the facts don't give a shit about her anecdotes and her emotive arguments. They don't fucking care. And that's going to happen in front of a judge.
She doesn't come with facts. She doesn't come with data. She doesn't come with useful statistics. No, she shouts you down with emotion. That's dangerous. But this...
He's a fucking walking Twitter.
Good night, Ember. Strays, please don't get your blood pressure too high. We can't have a beautiful cat girl missing streams due to being ill.
Oh, Dre's, don't you know? When I get fired up, that's when I get good. No, she is literally a biological version of Twit. That's what this woman is. She is just literally her and Collective Shout are essentially biological versions of, actually not even Twitter, Blue Sky. That's who they are. It's Blue Sky with an actual pulse.
This woman also only filters who she debates with. She would never have a conversation with someone like me. And we know that because they blocked me. Surely the point of contention when it comes to Melinda is not about God or her as a person, but about her politics, which are socially conservative and stem from an old school desire to protect women and girls from a cruel and sexualized world, as if women are unable to think and act for themselves.
I'm going to make an argument. I think for her, it is about God. I think that for her, religion is at the forefront of her cause. And that's why she can only argue using anecdotes and emotions and not facts. Because she's basically using her religion as a cudgel against others, against other women. That's the only reason, because people that use religion as the cornerstone of all their arguments can't use facts, because religion doesn't deal in facts. Religion deals in ideology, and some people are going to hate me for saying this, but religion deals in ideology and believing, and your make-believe friend who is all-powerful controls everything, and you just have to follow your imaginary friend's will, and you will live on the right side of everything. That's what people like this do. That she is literally working from a position of religion, not logical thinking and factual thinking. So that's one thing I'm going to disagree with, that it's not about God. For her, it's 100% about, or largely about God.
Misogynist abuse online and playing the victim. Well, victimhood really is the new black, isn't it? Back in 2012, I suggested at the beginning of the year that we look out for victimhood on the part of right-wing commentators, but it's alarming just how quickly it was served up. Victim-in-chief at the moment is Christian activist, anti-abortion campaigner, and censorship advocate Melinda.
Are we seeing a pattern yet? Are we seeing a pattern yet, chat? What's the first thing in her litany of causes? First thing. Yeah, for anybody that doesn't think she's using her religion as a cudgel, I present you Exhibit B, or C, or D. I don't even know how many exhibits we're at this point. Yeah, she is 100% using religion as the cudgel to beat people over the head with.
Tancred Reist. The womenaustralia.info website down at the bottom says there's been some controversy over the extent to which Tancred Reist's claims come from a feminist position of concern for the greater social welfare of women in general. Questions center on her work for Senator Herendine, an independent Catholic senator who, in deals with the Howard government in 1996, heavily restricted the availability of the abortion pill in both Australia and in countries
we know about
in
this.
receipt of Australian aid.
Yeah, Adznashi, you are actually correct about that. You are correct, and I'm probably misspeaking a little bit here. She is using religion as a weapon, but no, you're right. I don't think she actually believes any of it. She's pretending like she believes it to basically give her a sense of an air of moral superiority. She is morally superior because she is devoutly religious. I don't believe she actually believes a word of it. I don't think she's actually devout. She's just pretending to be devout. I think that's an absolute possibility. Regardless, it is once again using religion as a weapon. 100%. Okay, regardless of whether she is devout or not, regardless of whether she believes in her faith or not, okay, put that aside. Put aside if she actually believes or not. Let's put that aside for a minute. Regardless, she's using that religion as a weapon against people. Which unfortunately is not new. Religion is used as a weapon all the fucking time. All the time. We see it all over the world to this day. And correct, Hunter, what she's doing is not feminism. This is her bastardizing the concept of feminism. It's twisting feminism. It's basically doing exactly what I've said so many people do with words that just get thrown out there just because, to basically try and add an air of authority and power to what they're saying. Like when people use the word Nazi, when they use the Islamophobia shit, when they use fascism, all that. They're not actually using it to indicate that that person is actually X, Y, or Z. They're just using it to try and make it seem like they have some kind of authority in what they are saying, when in reality, they've ground those words into a fine powder so they actually don't mean anything anymore other than this person disagrees with me. And so now these words don't have any power, and feminism is the same. Feminism is basically in the same boat. But claiming someone's a feminist, I'm sorry, I don't believe it. If someone says, "Oh yeah, that person's a feminist," my first thought is bullshit. Prove it. To prove they're actually a feminist, because 9 times out of 10, they're not. They're just a reeing fucking Karen who's just like, you have to do what I say because I want power. That's what it boils down to these days, most of the time.
Reest's own deep adherence to her Christian faith has all
Again. Exhibit E. Exhibit E. Again with the Christian faith shit. Anybody who doesn't think she's using religion as a weapon right now is a fucking idiot. Anybody that is not actually a member of the clergy that is constantly using Christian faith like this in all of the articles is completely full of shit.
Also led to suggestions that her stance against abortion and pornography are driven by conservative morale and religious beliefs rather than a social commitment to ensuring the concerns of women are publicized and improved.
No, it's neither. It's neither. It's not driven by moral and religious beliefs because she's only using the religion as the weapon. She doesn't give a flying fuck about a commitment to ensuring the concerns of women are publicized and improved. She doesn't give a fuck about women. Let's not fuck with this. She doesn't care about women. She just wants control. She just wants everybody should act the way I say they should act, and I will beat you over the head with my religion and legalese to try and force you to do it. Thankfully, that blogger that called her out on it gave her basically the big, fuck you, I am not making a retraction, and I'm not apologizing, so good on that blogger for that. good on her for basically saying, go fuck yourself, you dumb cunt.
But she isn't the only psycho who can give us insights into this little gaggle of graying geeses. Let's take a look at Caitlin Roper, the campaign manager. She's another journalist trying to sell books. I mean censor anime. I mean raise taxes.
What?
Trying to sell books. I mean censor anime. I mean raise taxes.
Hang on. Okay. My book sex. What? The adoption of Nordic approach to what? The actual fuck? Okay. Oh, sweet God. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's. All right.
Protect women. Her pinned tweet is, of course, her trying to sell her book, Sex, Dolls, Robots, and Women Hating. She has, of course, naturally blocked me. Here she is retweeting.
Yeah. I have a suggestion for this woman. Hey, Caitlin. Go try and do this in Germany. Go over to, get out of Australia. Go to Germany and try and peddle this shit. Let's see how fucking far you get. And for those in chat who don't know, Germany is actually creating a cyber sex brothel. They're literally creating a brothel of sex robots in Germany right now. Okay? That's why I say she needs to go and try peddle this shit over in Germany. And see what happens. Not to mention Germany loves its sex industry. Leave us not forget, like, Europe itself loves its sex industry. So try peddling this shit over in Europe and see what happens.
The Spinifex Press activist Caitlin Roper, author of Sex, Dolls, Robots, and Women Hating, has spent many hours on forums of men, numbering in their thousands, who own replica women.
Oh no, Kanito, she probably would try and ban dildos and vibrators because that dried up pussy of hers probably wouldn't even take a dildo. It would probably just be like, it would create the minute she tried to shove up a dildo, she'd probably create a fire from the friction because it's so dry down there.
On forums of men, numbering in their thousands, who own replica women. Caitlin takes issue back in 2023. How has the skimpies industry survived #MeToo? Apparently, Me Too wasn't about servicing rape victims and giving them a platform to tell their story. No, it was actually about shutting down bars and sex clubs.
And here we go. Here we see it. People that are we see this in every movement these days. Every fucking social movement we see starts off with, I will be generous and say these social movements start off with good intentions. You can make the arguments against it. I am going to say that the majority of a lot of social movements that have come about, Black Lives Matter, Me Too, Believe All Women, I firmly believe that they started with good intentions. I do believe that. However, I also believe that very quickly, every single one of these causes got twisted and co-opted by people that wanted to run agendas. With Black Lives Matter, it was, let's be racist against white people. With Me Too, it's now we have an excuse to be misandrists. That's what happens. People take these causes that started with good intentions, that started with a justifiable cause, and they very quickly twist it so they can push their own agenda, and they basically co-opt it and take it over. And by the way, someone needs to remind Caitlin Roper of a very simple truth that has existed for centuries. Literal centuries. Sex sells. It needs to be not simpler than that. Sex sells always. This is a simple truth that will never go away. This will remain so long as the human race continues to exist. No matter how much you try and fight against it, it will always exist because, correct, Atamashi, it's a biological function. Sex sells because human beings are hardwired to propagate the species. That is why sex is on the mind so often, because it is a biological imperative of the human species in order to continue to propagate. It's pretty fucking simple, and you're never going to get rid of it no matter how hard you try.
Interesting. She also takes issue back in 2021. Want to call out sexual harassment? Start with your own Chance Change-led shopping centers hosting sexist and pornified images of essentially naked women. Unwanted exposure to sexual and pornographic imagery is sexual harassment.
They don't look at it. No one's forcing you to look at it. Okay, Chance Change, I'm guessing that this is probably magazines, or maybe it's an event. No one's forcing anyone to look at these catalogs or go to these events. No one's looking at it. No one. But I got a better question. When are they going to go after YouTube for the people that do share try-on hauls in naked yoga? You don't hear about them going after YouTube.
Caitlin's head would explode if she saw a classical Greek statue of a woman.
Head would explode if she saw a Peanuts cartoon showing Lucy bending over. Okay? But again, I'm gonna point out, they're going after this Chance Change, whatever it is. You notice they didn't try to go after YouTube. YouTube has content creators that do sheer try-on hauls that show all of their tits and nipples. You get full titty, full nipple, and sometimes you get full ass, and you sometimes even get full pussy, depending on the clothing in question. You have naked yoga, which is just as it reads on the tin. Women completely naked doing yoga. But you notice they're not going after YouTube. They're not doing this to YouTube. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why they're not going after YouTube. Why do you think they're not trying to go after YouTube about these things, I wonder? Could it be that if they tried to, YouTube would bitch slap them into oblivion? Could it be that that YouTube and Google have lawyers that will turn them into a legal fucking puddle? Maybe. Chance Change is an organization dedicated to racial and gender equality. So they're going after organizations that are going towards racial and gender equality, just not in the way they want to. So that's what it is. They're trying to promote equality, but they're not doing it in the correct quote unquote Christian way. And so of course they oppose it. Again, do you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to try to keep from repeating it too many times.
This just in, treating women as sex objects doesn't suddenly become feminist act just because the photographer is a woman. So she takes issue with a woman's ability to choose. If I, a female photographer, go to my female friend who's interested in posing a bit risque, that's apparently not good. She argues,
"Hey, Caitlin Rupper, who the fuck are you? Nobody on the face of this planet has given you the authority for you to decide what a woman can and cannot do in terms of wanting to look sexy or take sexy photos. Bearing in mind, all of the examples at play here, every fucking example at play here has nothing to do with women actually being victims. Not a one. Every single thing that has been that has been showcased here thus far has nothing to do with victims. Every single one of it has been Caitlin Roper or Melinda Tankard basically saying, we don't like what you guys are doing. We think you are bad for women, so we think you should be stopped. There's no actual victims of sex trafficking. There's no actual victims of sexual assault. It's literally just women want to be sexy, and thus these people don't think you have the right to. Why aren't you helping the actual victims of sex crimes? You claim that you're trying to protect women from sex crimes. Why aren't you helping actual sex crime victims? Huh? I'm sure there's no shortage of women out there that are indeed victims of sex crimes. Why aren't you putting your efforts into assisting them? No, Tanashi, it's not that there's no power in it. There's no popularity in it. They're not going to be making headlines by helping out a victim of a sex crime. They will make headlines by calling out brands that either have women dress sexy or sell sexy clothing. That's what it is. That's how they get headlines.
Risque, that's apparently not good. She argues with Michael here. Michael says, yeah, and men don't get treated the same. I mean, every single...
We should show her some anime. There will be no more from how some anime does fanfare.
Hey, Tarachi, she wants to end anime too. That's why this group has already tried to shut down a manga studio. I think it was a manga studio. There was a studio in Japan that was selling adult content stuff, probably doujin or hentai or something. They tried to shut them down, and that's why Japan's government recently slapped Visa and MasterCard and sanctioned Visa and MasterCard because of what they tried to do. And the Japanese government said, you're a fucking credit card company. You don't get to decide what the people get to spend their money on. And they actually sanctioned Visa and MasterCard in Japan because of what they did in cooperation with Collective Shop.
Sunglasses ad or clothing ad for men is just some good-looking male model, shirtless or otherwise. So yeah, men get the same treatment in regards to ads. Caitlin, however, comes in very bravely. Nope, sure, men too are sexualized, but I'm yet to see shopping center ads featuring men posing submissively, near naked, smiling coyly, wearing a fuck me expression alongside fully clothed women.
Hey, Caitlin, open your fucking eyes. Do you have any idea of how many advertisements are out there that have a woman straddling a man in a very domineering way, while the man is at minimum shirtless with a fucking tie around his neck, and the woman is holding the tie like it's a leash, and he is her submissive bitch? Those are fucking everywhere. And yes, men in just jeans giving the bedroom eyes. Yeah, they're fucking everywhere. So she's very, 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 very conveniently ignoring all those. Because if she didn't, she wouldn't be able to make this point. She would not be able to make this point at all. She is very selectively blind, Jack. Because if she wasn't, then she'd get bit slapped into oblivion because her arguments would mean nothing.
Well, don't worry, you got what you wanted, because in 2020, they started really promoting the demasculation of men. Now it's all over the place in Marvel. Empowerment has become the cover for doing whatever the hell you like. Anyone who complains is trying to oppress you.
Empowerment has become the cover for doing whatever the hell you like. Okay. Trying to figure out what... Okay, I'm not sure in question what the hell she's talking about here. This is something from The Guardian, so I honestly don't know what the hell she's talking about.
And we'll revisit this article. Kim K does not post naked selfies of herself in order to liberate women from oppression. She does it for her career.
And? No fucking duh. Wait. Is Caitlin Roper just now figuring out that Kim Kardashian posts naked selfies to try and elevate her brand? Is she literally just now figuring this the fuck out in 2016? I knew she was an idiot. I didn't know she was this well. Caitlin, I think you need to get off the fucking internet. If you're only just now in 2016 figuring this out, you need to get off the fucking internet and go touch grass. You need to get in touch with actual reality.
Now, there is truth in this tweet. However, the reason why she's tweeting it is bad because her reason for tweeting it is wanting to censor people who do genuinely want to do those things. Meyer, is it your policy to display posters of naked, objectified women so long as it is international campaigns? Why are pregnant women always naked on magazine covers?
Better question. Why the fuck do you care? Why the fuck do you care? It's not you that's naked on these magazines. You're not naked on these magazine covers. You're not pregnant and naked. Why the fuck do you care? She does realize that the women on these magazine covers were not forced to do it. The women on these magazine covers that she is screeching about actually chose to and probably wanted to do this. It was their choice. They were like, yeah, I want to do this. I'm proud of my body and I'm going to make money. Why not?
Indeed, why do we celebrate the beauty of a pregnant woman? I wonder, Caitlin. I wonder. Coming back to the Collective Shout podcast
there we go.
Called Beyond Patriarchal Sex, and, well, their most recent one has a lot of irony in it.
To you. Real empowerment isn't about being desirable. It's about having agency. It's about the freedom to say no, the freedom to speak out, to take up space, to stand with others fighting for justice.
Quit saying that none of these women can say no. No one's ever said that. Like, let's listen to her bullshit statement again, okay?
To you. Real empowerment isn't about being desirable. It's about having agency. It's about the freedom to say no, the freedom to speak out, to take up space, to stand with others fighting for justice.
Silly question. Why not all of the above? Why not be desirable, have the ability to say no, have the ability to speak up, have your own agency? Why is one mutually exclusive of the other? You can do all of the above. This is possible for the average human being. It is I promise you, it can be done. Hundreds of thousands of millions of women have been capable of doing this. You do realize that, right? You did like yoink yourself offline and actually go like walk amongst other people and other women out in the world and see this, right? Because the only way you're going to see it is if you actually disconnect from the fucking computer, exit your home, and go out amongst other people. I know. Being out amongst people can be scary. I understand that. I'm not comfortable around people either. I get it. But you know what? Everything you just said, including the desirable part, is all in one package with hundreds of thousands or millions of women. You just need to get out from behind that computer and actually go walk amongst your fellow humans. And you will see it on a daily basis. I promise you.
Real empowerment isn't about desirability, it's about agency, the freedom to speak out. Funny, because Collective Shout wants to take away the agency of women to choose based on their views of sex, abortion, and fiction. And the moment a woman disagrees with them, they either sue them, block them, or label them a man in my case. And at the minute 55 mark, this happens.
I told you that rape and incest games are being marketed to 12-year-olds.
I would call you a fucking liar. That's what I would call you. I would call you a flat fucking liar. This is the Steam thing. This is the Steam thing. They're trying to claim that Steam marketed rape and incest games, what they classify as rape and incest games, to 12-year-olds. That was a fucking lie. That was an absolute bald-faced fucking lie. Every fucking one of them is 18 plus. Every one of them, you thunder cunt. So do not fucking try to claim that any game company is marketing rape and incest games to 12-year-olds because you're a fucking liar. A provable fucking lie.
Full stop. That is not happening. That is a mischaracterization of the market, ratings, and more. But they knew that. They use harsh language to avoid challenge and then lie about everything after. Countries have rating boards.
Problem is, the harsh language that they're using, they piss off the wrong person with their harsh language, and that person has the money, they will hold their ass into court. That's the key. They haven't pissed off the right person yet who's got the money that can actually sustain a legal fight to haul their asses into court. The minute that happens, this will stop. The minute they slander a company with enough money to actually fight them, they're fucking done.
To avoid challenge and then lie about everything after. Countries have rating boards for a reason, and presenting things like this is dangerous because it could be done about anything. This is the slippery slope of misinformation at its finest. Removing adult spaces isn't the answer, which is their goal. Removing children from the internet is the best solution, but you don't need government to do it. You need a change in culture. But again, we're focusing on their words right now. In another video from 2 months ago, they're boasting about the No Mercy game going down, at the developer's actions, however, not Steam's, which is probably why they went to payment processors, because Steam didn't do anything. These two women here are Melinda and Danny. Danny is the NCOS legal rep and person attempting to characterize anime as childlike in totality. These groups move together because it has become more effective for them. NCOS is a morality group that rebranded from Catholic morals to child exploitation because people listen with harsher language involved. This video goes on to make the claims, oh, the science is out there, to back them up.
No, it isn't. Because you're not dealing with science. These people are not dealing with science in any way, shape, or form. They are dealing with pure emotion, and they are dealing with pure pearl-clutching ideology. So don't even fucking try, especially on this channel, to try and fuck with science. You do not want to come at me saying, the science did, because goddammit, I will make you show you your fucking homework. You will show me the fucking homework on what science you're talking about.
But she promotes another book written by someone else within Collective Shout while making outlandish claims that 12-year-olds are getting easy access to adult games. That's a pair.
Okay. I said this before and I'm going to say it again. This is the book about quote-unquote sexual harassment of teachers. I do not doubt that teachers in schools are sexually harassed. I do not doubt this. I am not discounting this whatsoever. However, I have a question. I have a question for Collective Shout. So, while you're reading about sexual harassment of teachers, Hey, Collective Shot, would you like to tell me what your position is on female teachers fucking their students? Any particular reason why you haven't come out and decried the female teachers that fuck their teenage students? Because there's a lot of them. Huh? Well, but why so silent about that? You want to talk about the sexual harassment of teachers? I'm all to listen about that because I'm certain it does happen. I will be right there behind you about teachers should not be sexually harassed. I'm with you, 100%. Now talk about the teachers sexually harassing and fucking their students. Oh wait.
Parenting problem, not an adult to adult market problem. All of their videos and interviews are like this, just internet bloggers with no real worth to the world saying, trust me, bro, even though we've already had plenty of studies on media saying the opposite is true.
Yeah.
But we all know that this isn't about facts. This is just angry women doing angry woman things. For 30 years. Moving on from Caitlyn, this is Coralie Allison, the operation manager, and some of her tweets over the years.
Japan
Thank you,
bans
ACRM,
possession of
for the
child
follow.
pornography.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry, I was probably ranting at the time. Iron Bear, thank you for the follow over on Kick. I'm sorry, I was probably ranting and I missed your follow. Thank you.
Her tweets over the years.
Japan bans possession of child pornography, but not excludes manga or anime.
Oh, God. She really thinks all manga and anime is child porn. This twisted cunt actually thinks all manga and anime is child porn. Full stop. Worley, I fucking dare you to try and take away the weeb's anime and manga. I fucking dare you. See how fast you get punted through the fucking wall when you try and take away the weeb's manga and anime. God, I was about to mispronounce the fuck out of that. Their manga and anime. See how fast that happens. And thank you for the gifted, Cody.
She's upset about just manga and anime existing, mind you. She's not upset about the content of it because she doesn't engage with the content of it. She's upset over something she doesn't understand. Mirroring the previous woman.
And this time, they allowed her to wear a skirt, although still topless, because apparently using women's bodies to sell products works, right?
Yes. Yes, it does. First time? It's worked because it works because this has worked for literal centuries. Again, sex sells. Don't hate the players. Hate the game. And hate the game all you want because it ain't fucking changing. Yes, it does work. People see this, men and women see this, and they are more inclined to purchase the product because they associate the product with a sexy topless woman.
My health teacher, who is a woman, she actually had sex with one of her students. This was during
Ugh.
my senior year, and the student
Yeah.
bragged about it.
I'm not surprised, Rollisburn, but the thing is, the student is a child. Their brain is not fully developed yet, so they can't appreciate how sick that is. This is a child who is in the height of puberty, or just post-puberty. They're in their sexual awakening. So yeah, the first time they get fucked, of course they're gonna be like, yeah, I got some. But they don't realize just how fucked up a situation and how the power dynamic works in terms of a teacher and a student. I'm not begrudging a student that, like, after it happening, like, bragging about it. They're their brain can't comprehend that they were assaulted, which is why this is a crime, is because they can't comprehend the fact at this stage of their development that of what was done to them was actually assault. And so that's why I am not blaming the victims, even if they're bragging about it. They're still victims in this case because they don't understand and appreciate the world. They don't have the experience. They don't have the brain development. Their brains are still developing, etc., etc. They don't appreciate the reality of the situation. It makes it no less of a crime that health teacher, that someone in your class that fucked her student is still a fucking pedophile. And I hope the fuck she's in prison right now.
Looks like they haven't read the research that shows ads with sexual objectification don't actually sell more products.
Bullshit. Show me the receipts, bitch. You want to claim that there's research that shows ads with sexual objectification don't actually sell products? Show me. Bring it. Show me your homework, young lady. And unless you can produce these receipts, shut the fuck up.
Oops. Just a bit of sexploitation courtesy
Oh, for fuck's sake.
of Mayo. Using a woman's naked body to sell perfume. Let's wrap her in a ribbon as if she's an actual object. Even Air France does it.
Oh,
For
my
only
fuck.
€49, you can book pretty, innocent, seductive, and naked Florence.
Okay, chat, call me crazy, but how do we know this woman's naked? How do we know she's naked? Her hair is covering everything. Her hair is covering up anything. How do we know she's not wearing a fucking bikini? Eh? And by the way, again, sex sells. Come to Florence. We have sexy women. No, Victor, it's saying, yeah, you can book, yes. Wait. Oh, my sweet fuck. Hold up, Victor, you could be right. Chat, does Coralie actually think that Air France is advertising a woman for purchase? Does this dumb cunt actually think that Air France is advertising a woman for purchase for €49? Chat, who wants to tell her? Who wants to tell her? Oh my God, these people are so fucking stupid, it defies description. And before I laugh too much, Undead Centurion, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, raiders. Welcome in. We are currently laughing at the collective dumb fucks of Collective Shout. So please, join us in pointing and laughing at these dumb bitches.
I think it depends could have gotten the message across without zooming in on a girl's half-naked body.
Hey, Coralie, the product is literally adult diapers that are supposed to look like granny panties. That is literally the whole point of the advertisement. What the hell did you want to focus on? Her face? I'm pretty sure she's not wearing Depends on her head. You dumb fuck. Wait. Okay. I have to ask Coralie, what's your obsession on girls' half-naked bodies? What exactly is your obsession with this? See, people that chat, me think the girl protesteth too much. The lady doth protest too much. What are you trying to hide, Coralie? What's on your hard drive? What do you have hiding on your hard drive, Coralie? You're protesting about half-naked women or full-naked women so much. What's on your computer? The projection is quite strong with you. Because chat, leave us not forget. By the way, Cody Neckiness, thank you. Leave us not forget, chat. The people that and cry this much about a singular thing, like women's half-naked bodies. And by the way, this is a full-ass grown woman. Why are you saying girls' half-naked bodies? This person's not underage. They're literally advertising Depends. They're not underage. That's number one. Number two, you are so fixated on naked women. Something you want to tell us? Are you feeling called out? When you see these naked women on these magazines, do you start squeezing your thighs together and start crossing and uncrossing your legs uncontrollably because you're worried that if this image does not get out in front of your eyes, you're just gonna spread your legs and finger fuck yourself into a screaming oblivion? Is that why you're so obsessed with naked women in advertisements?
For some people the saying applies, stupid is as stupid does and you can't fix stupid.
Keep in mind, the target audience for Depends is older women. No girls were involved in this.
Yes, exactly.
Objectified near-naked female bodies with bags for heads. Is she...
Okay. What the fuck is... Okay. Chat, I have to ask, what the fuck is this? This is just fucking... that shit crazy. What in the fuck? Is this like... is this like a fashion show or something? I mean... I don't know. I don't know. This is just fucking weird. I'm not even gonna like comment on. I'm not even gonna say anything about her dumb fucking comment. This is just. Why? I would fully expect this to be like a fashion show because fashion shows are this fucking stupid. But just. Why?
Pyramid Head got weird in 2016.
Budget cuts, Leo. That's what it is. It's 2016 had budget cuts. They worked with what they had.
Naked female bodies with bags for heads. Is she naked holding a blanket? A dress? Who really cares? Her purpose is
Exactly,
to
no one.
sultry so we can sell more perfume.
Yes. That's literally what she's doing. Exactly. It's to make men think, oh, if I get this for my significant other, she'll be sexy like this smoking hot model. If women see this, they'll think, oh, I want to get this perfume because then maybe my guy or my girl will basically this image of a smoking hot woman will come to mind. Again, sex sells for a reason.
And no cosmetic counter would be complete without a product endorsing sexual harassment. Send nudes, lip tint with a picture of bare backside, because that's just what young girls...
What? Wait. What the fuck is she talking about? This makes no fucking sense. Okay. We have some lip products here. We have some makeup product for the lips. I guess they're lip tints. Where in the fuck is she coming up with a picture of a bare ass? Where in this photograph that she is highlighting is there a bare ass? Yeah, all I see are lips. Lips, lips, lips. Nothing. I do not see a single bare ass in this picture. It is boxes that display. Yeah, exactly, Kaya. Like, wait. Does she not know what an actual ass looks like? Hold up. Does she actually not know what a bare ass looks like? Is she confusing lips with asses? Oh. And by the way, where's she coming up with the quote-unquote send nudes lip tint? As near as I can tell, this lip tint's name is Frank Body. That's the name of this product, is Frank Body. Not send nudes. There's something wrong with her brain. There's legit something wrong with her brain. If she's going to send this photo and say that the lip tint is send nudes when it's Frank Body, and think that the image of lips are asses, somebody put her in the asylum. She clearly has a mental dysfunction that could potentially be dangerous, where she's seeing lips as asses and is seeing the words Frank and Body as send nudes.
Either that, or it's a massive stretch of the small circle on the tube.
Oh, why, sweet fuck, you're right. You're right. Oh my God, it's so fucking... Okay, I don't know if I can zoom this in. You know what? Lone Wolf, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Right here. This lip tint is called... It's damn near impossible to see. The lip tint actually is send nudes, and that is a bare ass. That is what she's bitching about. This right here. That's what it does. The name of this is send nudes, and that is a bare ass. But it's, again, look at how long it took to identify that. It is so tiny, and we're seeing all this. We're going, are you mistaking mouths for asses, woman? Do you not know how to read words? That's how long it took us, because she didn't highlight this in any way. The highlight was this. This was the highlight. I guarantee no one looking at this tweet was looking here. Absolutely no one was looking here. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with this. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this. That a makeup company is calling a product, giving a product a cheeky name of send nudes, and is putting an ass on the bottle. This is being sold to women. Adult women. If adult women cannot handle buying a product that says send nudes and has a crudely drawn bare ass on the tube, then they shouldn't be buying makeup in the first place. This is not being marketed to young girls. This is being marketed to women. No matter how much this bitch tries to pretend like it isn't, this is being marketed to women. And it's not exerting pressure to send nude selfies. Nowhere, anywhere in here, even with this on the tube, is there any pressure for a young girl to send a naked selfie? None whatsoever. This is projection. Someone get Coraline's messaging history. I want to know how many nudes she's been sending to people. Because I'll betcha she has sent nudes. She has 100% sent nudes.
Need.
No, Andrea, it's fine.
Naked selfies.
Why are you promoting young girls wearing makeup? Makeup should actually just be an adult woman thing. I digress.
And when your marketing department has no creativity, you resort to age-old sex sexual innuendo. Get
'Cause it
naked,
works.
get dirty, get rough, get clean. Wow, how original. I'm so inspired to buy this product. Insert massive eye roll.
Hey, Quirly, they're marketing this product to women that have sexual appetites, normal, healthy sexual appetites. That's who this is being marketed for, not dried up old cunts that have pussies as dry as the Sahara. You're not the target demographic, sweetheart. So move on.
To buy this product. Insert massive eye roll. Coles pulls Harper's Bazaar Australia magazine with naked Miranda Kerr on cover.
In a rare twist of fate, though, this is, and I do have to give them credit for this, the only group to remain consistent in their hatred of all nudity.
Shame the Body Shop Australia uses naked men to sell soap. If your product was any good, you wouldn't need sex to sell it.
Done. Incorrect. But at the same token, did you not? In another tweet, I can't remember if it was her or one of the other bitches. In another tweet, was there not a complaint that there wasn't men kneeling naked and submissive like women? So which is it? You want men naked and submissive or none at all? Pick one. Drac? Did you make a bobo? Did you make a bobo there? I think you did. Atanashi, I think you might need to help out Drac. I think a boo-boo was made.
Gasp. I asked the staff at
Okay.
Meijer where a picture of naked women with perfume in a crotch was displayed.
You mean the individual at the counter making minimum wage who has never talked to a representative from the actual...
Wait, hang on. I might have missed something here. Let me back up.
Gasp. I asked the staff at Meijer where a picture of naked women with perfume in a crotch was displayed.
You mean...
Because the company said that's the way we want this display. The woman behind the counter has zero fucking power to determine how something should be displayed or not. The company tells the person behind the counter, put that there, do your fucking job. She's not, the counter girl's not gonna have a fucking word to say edgewise about it if she wants to keep her job. But again, that's why they go after people like this. Because the counter girl is a soft target. She is a weak target. That's why they go after them, because they know they don't have the means to defend themselves, and they have to, and the company wants them to please the customer, and she is a customer. And so when a customer comes up getting all pissed off, the employee has been instructed, do everything you can to placate the customer. She's going after a weak target. Because if she actually went after a target that could defend herself or himself, she will get bitch slapped to the back wall.
You mean the individual at the counter making minimum wage who has never talked to a representative from the actual company in their life, who isn't paid enough to deal with your bullshit? I like how there's no follow-up. Also, none of them have any engagement on it.
Not even a lobotomy can help these people.
Nobody could help us. It could help us, Durahan. No, I'm not advocating for the lobotomy of anybody. No, I am not. Just so I'm clear. To make my position clear, Ember Paradox is not advocating for the lobotomy of anyone. This is my position.
Any of their tweets. And yet somehow they get companies to listen to them. I think that's crazy.
Let's celebrate women by stripping them naked and make them sit on the floor. Women's cycling team made to look half naked. Stop objectifying and sexualizing women.
For God's sake.
Council officials voted to remove all billboards and posters that could be seen to contribute to body image issues.
Okay, I guarantee that one This is all about the we're gonna remove the pretty girls and we're gonna put the fat girls up in place. I'll bet you anything. This last one was not about sexualizing women. The vote to remove billboards and posters that could be seen to contribute to body image issues. They're removing them and they're going to replace them with all overweight women to present a more quote unquote realistic depiction of women. So don't fuck with the Coralie. You didn't win shit there.
My God, she just keeps going year after year. So hateful. But this is my personal favorite.
At Coralie.
I understand why the stalking ads are misogynistic, but what's wrong with showing skin in a non-sexualized way?
It's the cumulative total of using naked and or sexualized women's bodies in marketing that is harmful.
I want this dumb bitch to explain to me how the marketing is harmful. She needs to explain how is this marketing harmful, and she needs to present to me facts of how this is harmful. Not just that it's harmful to her pearl-clutching delicate sensibilities. Present actual facts. Until you can do that, kindly shut the fuck up about this. The marketing is harmful to women.
Interesting. They want the Sharia law of advertisement and fiction to be the deciders of what is and isn't okay. Why do they think that they deserve so much power? Why doesn't the Muslim man or the Chinese dictator get to decide? Why should they be elected the moral arbiter? My most holy of late Nan, a pious woman through and through, would tell them that they are being whores for showing any skin. So why are they being listened to over the wisdom of my Nan? But that last tweet, that's exactly what this is all about. It's the total use of naked bodies in marketing that is harmful. They are against all nudity, which means all movies and games and content with anything spicy they want sanitized. The Witcher, GTA, Mass Effect, all these games with a bit of fan service, all anime, all of TV. However, there's not a peep trying to get payment processors to sever ties with Hollywood, where actual rape and pedophilia run rampant behind the cameras. These are the people that they support, follow, retweet, reference. The first one is the funniest one, retweeting something that sounded good to them, but it comes from someone who may actually have a disdain for women. And they don't retract the tweet. They cannot admit that they are wrong because
these women don't understand a lot of gamers have a grudge against women and will do some wild shit to get back at them. I don't play video games, so I'm not an exhibit. Then why did you even posted that? Common woman L. I don't even fucking get this. I don't even get it.
They do. Well, that's bad for them because what else are they wrong about? This was the individual that I used in a previous video. He actually commented on their tweet that he isn't even a gamer and shouldn't be their exhibit A. Then says common woman L. I would agree here because this is the ultimate L, but they still keep those words up despite the trollish nature of them. Melinda retweeted Danny, who is on her crusade of labeling everything anime as childlike. Melinda also retweets Marissa, but Marissa's too stupid to realize that all nudity bad and genuinely thinks her gooning, Baldur's Gate, is good, which in reality, collective
Wait. Your annual reminder that the male gaze does not mean hot women on screen. It's about how the gaze of the camera, the gaze of the actors, and the gaze of the audience work to set characters or subjects or objects. With women, of course, usually being. You can have beautiful women on screen without it being the male gaze. Not according to you. Female directors can produce movies through the male gaze. Very existence of the female gaze is debatable because the intrinsic power... Fuck you. Fuck you. Okay? This right here is the female gaze. This right here. Showing absolutely fucking ripped men. With their shirts off, and goddamn, holy fuck, I think this was at when he was his most fucking ripped, when he was in the Wolverine. And then you have Alan Rickman here. Dear God, this man is huge and ripped. Holy fuck. This is the female gaze. This right here is an example of the female gaze, but according to Marissa Jensen, that can't exist. According to Marissa Jensen, the female gaze is debatable of whether or not it even exists because, of course, if it's anything bad in regards to women, it can't happen. It's only bad if it's men. No, Leo, not Alan Rickman. Sorry. Did I mispronounce his name? I thought his name was Alan Rickman. I always do this. I'm sorry, I mispronounced his name. What's it? How's his last name spelled again? I always do this with him, I'm afraid. What's his last name? Richardson. I always do that. I'm sorry. I always mispronounce Alan Richardson's name. I always do that. For some reason, my brain defaults to Rickman. I don't know why. I always do that. It's, yeah, Alan Richardson. Sorry. My apologies. Anyway, yeah, Marissa Jensen basically is, does the typical feminazi thing where if it's bad, it can't possibly be female. It has to be male. In terms of sexualization. There can absolutely be no negative sexualization when it comes to women. It is all men that do the negative sexualizing. Always.
Out wants this gone too, because remember, all nudity bad, all porn degrading, all fiction must be sanitized. Jolie, a supporter of Coralie, says the quiet part out loud.
Jolie says, "Yep, can't wait for the marketing to get clever and create ads that don't involve sexualized sexism to sell. That being said, the best way to stop this is to not buy their stuff." And yet, females do. Not
bingo. Because number one, the advertising draws in women. Because the whole purpose is, do you want to look like this? Buy our product. And women will buy it. Why? Because women don't give a fuck about dry cunts like Coralie and Jolie. They don't care. All this ringing and screaming is actually going to incentivize them more to purchasing it. Realistically. They're playing themselves by constantly ringing against this. The best way to sell a product is had there be controversy regarding it. They are actually giving attention to this product and drawing more eyes to it, so more women are going to go, maybe I should try this. Good job, you just tanked your own cause by doing this, you dumbass.
Women in this case, and yes, I will look into the words chosen and the disdain that this person has for the fact that women dare to have agency. Which brings me to the next article reposted by Caitlin Roper talking about how empowerment has become a cover for doing whatever the hell you like, and anyone complaining is oppressive. While there is some crossover from arguments over the years that would normally have me mildly agreeing with them that empowerment from the overall female movement was just manipulation, it is the reasoning that they use it and the reasoning behind Collective Shout that I will shoot them down. They use this as a means to shame women and control. They can't just call a woman a slut anymore, so they know that that won't work. But what they are doing is...
Chat, you wouldn't believe the things I've seen. Chat, don't you ever tell anybody where I've been. Kirby, fix your fucking aim, goddammit!
Is going to the store and giving them bad press in hopes that they ban the item that the women won't stop buying. Before I get canceled, I learned a new word today, and so will you. From shopping to naked selfies, how empowerment lost its meaning. It's quite an exciting time to be a woman, I can tell you. Feminism might not have quite finished its work yet. There are still niggly little things such as unequal pay and female genitalia mutilation, and unbelievably, abortion remains an actual issue in the US elections in 2016.
Fucking wow. Hold on. Unequal pay, fine. I'll give you that for feminism. Female genital manipulation, that's not feminism. That's literal human fucking rights violations. Because yes, this does exist. Not in the US, primarily, but yes, this does exist. You typically find, like, yes, there are some people in the US that do it because they're immigrants and they bring over these absolutely sick, disgusting practices into the US. I'm not discounting that. But female genital mutilation, or child abuse, as it should be addressed, is primarily occurring in third world African and Muslim countries. That is where the female genital manipulation happens, is in those countries, not in mainstream Western cultures, with the exceptions of immigrants that bring those cultures to Western civilizations and continue to practice them. Western civilization as a whole does not do this. They don't. And abortion remains an actual issue in the U.S. elections. Okay, you want to talk about abortion? Okay, I will give you that on feminism too. However, I do have a question. Well, Durahan, I'm guessing this is not in regards to trans individuals. I'm guessing it's not. I'm guessing this has to do with like literal female genital manipulation that is a part of third world country cultures. I'm going to say that that's what she was talking about and not referring to trans teens. I will benefit of a doubt on that one. However, notice that this is the first fucking time. This is the first fucking time in this entire video that anyone from this group has brought this kind of thing up. First time that this has come up in the entire video. Out of all the stuff that they've put out, all the stuff that they've read about, it's the first time they've actually brought up actual feminist issues. The entire time. And it's one lie. Just one lie.
But never has it been easier for a woman to feel empowered. So apparently, genital mutilation is just something to be mildly uncomfortable with. The article, however, goes on. The problem with this approach is that it leads to a great big pile of nothing. The suggestion that women should unthinkably celebrate one another purely out of sisterly feelings is about as patronizing as the idea that women shouldn't trouble their brains with opinions. The article further goes on. Feminists who query whether things such as prostitution, pole dancing, or lurking about naked while being filmed by self-described pervert Terry Richard, as Miley Cyrus did for her video Wrecking Ball, are really empowering themselves, are shouted down as angry anti-sex harridans.
Wait. All right. All right. I will just let it continue.
In recent years, there have been feminist revisions of everyone from Margaret Thatcher to Kim.
Okay, Punter, to your point, yes, male genital mutilation is also not a good thing. We focus on the female genital mutilation here because it was actually in the article. Basically, child abuse of any form in terms of what is done to children's private parts, in terms of mutilation, of course, is a terrible thing. No question. Okay? It's... Now, bearing in mind, and I'm not going to get into a debate about this, okay? I know a lot of people, a lot of men do get circumcised, okay? I am not going to get into a debate on whether or not, A, that's classified as mutilation, or B, if it can be considered, like, criminal or whatever. I'm aware. Okay, Scanito, I just said I'm not going to get into it. Stop it. Okay, when we're referring to here's the thing with female genital manipulation. That's referring to literally removing the clitoris from young girls. Okay? It is somewhat different with female genital manipulation. It is somewhat different in that they're actually cutting off a girl's clitoris. That's what that is in reference to. And yeah, I'm sure a lot of guys cringe when hearing that. Okay, so it is slightly different, and I think that is why there is usually a lot more focus on female genital manipulation versus men being circumcised. I am not advocating, nor am I opposing when it comes to circumcision. Bear that in mind. And again, we're not going to get into a debate on it. But it is not the same as when it is done to girls. That is what I'm saying.
There have been feminist revisions of everyone from Margaret Thatcher to Kim Kardashian simply because they want their own self-empowered women, even though both of them explicitly distance themselves from the label in their respective times. Yet when the Kardashian tweeted a topless selfie last month, she claimed that she was empowered by her sexuality and thus, via the media of her iPhone and her breasts, she was striving to encourage the same empowerment for girls and women all over the world.
Okay. If you are going to highlight Kim Kardashian taking naked selfies as the bastion of female empowerment, you got a fucking problem right fucking there. Okay? I would never view Kim Kardashian as a bastion of female empowerment. Kim Kardashian is one of the biggest fucking narcissists on the goddamn planet. She is not the poster child for female empowerment. So fuck that shit.
Anyone who queried this philosophy was shouted down as an out-of-date loser who encouraged body shaming. So maybe the easiest way to deal with the kinds of arguments raised by choice feminism is to end with the simple truth. While the ability to choose is feminist, that doesn't mean the choice itself is. As Carrie Bradshaw, the icon of self-empowerment, could tell you, do whatever you like, but don't kid yourself that you're doing anything more than pleasing yourself. Buying shoes is not a strike against the patriarchy. Telling other women to shut up online is not a feminist act. Tweeting photos of your boobs is not empowering the world. There's a lot of things I actually agree with in this article, but having Collective Shout use this as a means of censorship, that's bad. I don't aim to stop women from taking pictures of themselves, just merely being informed that the act is not a form of empowerment. You're still showing off boobs. It's just you doing it. All of this is still about control, controlling what men can consume and controlling what women want to do, all while defying biology and ignoring the...
I've been ignoring this for the most part, but I've got to just say it. I have to say it. Chat, Collective Shout's YouTube page has been around since 2020. It has 843 subscribers. My YouTube channel has only really been in existence. Obviously, I've had a YouTube account for many years, but my YouTube account has only been in use for the last year or so, heavily, where I've actually posted stuff. They have 843 subscribers. I'm going to do a little puffing out my chest on this one. You want to know how many subscribers my YouTube channel has? Huh? Anyone want to take a guess? Yeah. 26.5 thousand subscribers. And I talk about stuff. I talk about issues like Collective Shout does. I've got 26,000 subscribers. And about 400, 500 videos. Just saying. I'm just saying.
Concept of self-governance, responsibility, and ownership. Collective Shout is an evil organization that will stop at nothing. They are a politically funded and politically supported Australian group attempting to influence American markets and companies across the globe. By going to nervous payment processors, they've now skirted government altogether by taking advantage of the duopoly of Visa and MasterCard, but also PayPal and others. If this is allowed to
Yup.
continue, essentially these women have found a life hack of true power. These companies don't want to make business risks and have government come down on them, so it's easier for them to just
say I'm going to disagree with that, because what they are doing by allowing Collective Shout to basically aim them like a fucking doom, the fact that these women basically were able to take the credit card companies and target companies like the fucking BFG 5000 is going to bring government oversight down on their heads. So to that, I will disagree. Because ever since the thing that happened with Steam, you are now seeing governments taking action, and you're seeing people calling for more governments to take action. Japan has already sanctioned Visa and MasterCard. There is a bill currently sitting on the House that is getting worked on that will neuter the credit card company's ability to restrict or limit any product. My guess is the EU may also be working on their own stuff. So if Visa and MasterCard said, we're going to bow to Collective Shout because we don't want governments to come down on us because they are backed by government funding or government donations, well, I have one thing to say to you.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Because the exact opposite is happening.
give in, but no more. We cannot let extremists win. This group is not woke. They are not extreme Christians. They don't represent anyone but themselves, are upset because churches apparently don't do enough, and seem to blame unrelated topics on each other instead of just promoting good parenting and accountability. They want to tear down a woman's right to choice in more than just clothing, but abortion too. Look at this gross framing of this, using a woman's suffering and worse, based on her bullshit book, tries to claim that the woman tried to hang herself because of the abortion, not because of the rape, or whatever.
Fuck you, Melinda. Fuck you with a bad dragon wrapped in Constantina wire, soaked in ghost pepper hot sauce, with a stick of TNT shoved up the backside of it, and I'm debating on lighting the fucking fuse. How fucking dare you objectify an Ethiopian refugee that is a victim of sexual assault and had to get an abortion because of said fucking sexual assault, and the overarching experience caused her to take her own life? That is fucking sick. That is disgusting fucking behavior. You are one of the biggest pieces of shit. You are a fucking user through and through. You will use people up and throw them away. You are using a dead woman to try and push your ideology. Go and fuck yourself with this bullshit. You are not a champion of fucking women. You are an abuser of fucking women. Make no fucking mistake. You are a user and an abuser of women just to push your ideology and your agenda to force people to think like you do. And I fucking dare you to try and actually do this to women that actually have zero problems defending themselves. Do you want to come at someone and try to tell them how to dictate their lives regarding sex, sexuality, female nudity, and etc.? Come at me. Go for it, you dumb cunt. Let's see what fucking happens when you deal with someone who isn't afraid to tell you to go fuck yourself.
Whatever else has gone on. Her book argues women who have abortions suffer more. But when she collected testimony, she only sought out pro-life individuals by posting to Right to Life newsletter. Keep this in mind, this woman's work in 1995 and 1996 aided in preventing safe abortion methods for developing areas that Australia had infected. Her other book, Defiant Birth, includes narratives that resist pressures to abort, which she presents as empowering. Remember above where they had someone on their YouTube channel say empowerment is the right to choose? Apparently not, because if you choose abortion, she'll claim that you're suffering grief. They don't want any nudity, not even tastefully done nudity, and will call whatever they want childlike or exploitative.
Yeah, well, right here, bitch. Right here. Look, naked thighs above stockings. You don't like stockings with naked thigh? Here you go. There you go. What do you got to say? I'm not ashamed of it. I wouldn't have made my model look this way if I was ashamed of it. I'm proud of how sexy my model looks. I'm proud of it. That's why I designed it this way. I want to look sexy and beautiful. I want the combination of both. And many other women do also. That's why they dress sexy.
Exploitation to get their way. They will lie, misrepresent, and use harsh language. Countries all over the world have their own laws. And if she wants to make Australia more miserable, she should go about that, and Australians can resist her and lambast her. But now,
Ember's beautiful in her way. 'Cause she makes no mistakes. She's on the right track, baby.
No, I do.
She was drawn this way.
I make mistakes. I am far from perfect. I make mistakes. But I won't, yeah.
is attempting to do so internationally, and I won't stand for it. Yes, they went viral over rape and incest video games, but their true motives expand far beyond that. This group is dangerous,
control.
and I thank you for your time listening. I know that this was a mouthful full of information, but it's important that it gets out. These people are sick, and they shouldn't be allowed to get away with this.
Nope. They absolutely are. They are dangerous. I've said this many times. They are dangerous. And we need someone. I hope they slander or defame someone with the money that can basically yank their asses into court and bitch slap the fuck out of them with a lawsuit. I really do.